Welcome to the 611 Films YouTube channel. We are back in 99. My name is David Groves. My name is David Groves, one of your hosts. With me as always, my co-host. He's excited.
Neil McKay, let's go.
Neil McKay, let's go. This movie, October Sky, is what we're talking about today. I actually saw this, I believe, probably on like a VHS DVD with family. Like after it came out, I was still in high school. And it really spoke to me as one wanting to do like filmmaking, but the path kind of in this movie where you have sort of that inspirational true story type feel of, well, you're going to be doing this, kid, and working in, a coal mine and blah, blah, blah. Those dreams should go away. And kind of that perseverance. It felt like the Rudy of science movies, or you know what I mean? Like it had that feel to me. And it was so fleshed out. The characters all had such poignancy, to me at least. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's touching. I think it worked. It just really worked for me. I really liked it.
I didn't see it back then. I just saw it a couple days ago. I didn't really know much about it, other than it was about some kid who wanted to. I thought he wanted to be an astronaut or something like that. And when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is really more about." I mean, it's about obviously science and stuff, but it's really more about like when you were stuck in this like dead end town, this dying town, this coal town. That's like, and it's like, how do you get out? Like that was what was really like interesting. Was like. All these people that live there are like stuck in this world, and it's like they can't unless they got like a football scholarship. Like it's like they're stuck in this like dying town, and I thought that was like wow, like really interesting. Like how do you get out of that rut?
Right. After Sputnik, the shuttle got launched, and then Homer, the lead character played by Jake Gyllenhaal, sees it up in the sky. It's so funny how like all of a sudden. He was never good in math. I mean, you're probably 16, or he was 16, 17 going into all this stuff. I think that's impressive. Like to just jump towards something so suited to a lot of mathematics and figuring that stuff out, which is rough. I was never good with that after algebra.
Yeah, so, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're interested in something enough, you know. And I guess that was the thing. He had enough of a kick in the butt to be like, all right, well, I guess I'm learning math,
Yeah. I mean, seeing something like that and wanting to do it.
And now it's based on a true story. And it's like you said at the beginning, it was in October, I guess, in 1957 when Sputnik was out there. So that's where they get the October Sky. But it's also an anagram for Rocket Boys, which is what the October Sky is, an anagram for Rocket Boys, which is the book it's based on. Homer that he wrote. So all of this really happened. I mean, probably changed a little bit for the movie. I think they took. I think there were six of them, and two of them were like merged into a character or something like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I think weirdly enough, the Quentin character, who is like the nerd in the movie, he was actually like the good-looking guy in real life, and it was Homer that was kind of the nerd. But they had to change that when they had Jake Gyllenhaal. They're like, we can't make this guy.
I think Chris
Owen.
Chris Owen, or as people mostly know, Sherman.
Sherman. Sherman!
Hey! What the fuck are you doing here?
Seems she's taking a liking to me. Fellas, it's time she experienced the Shermanator.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, Chris Owen was also in American Pie. And then the other Chris Cooper, was American Beauty. So the Chris's were busy this year. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Absolutely.
So
there's a lot of crossover. We've mentioned it, I think, a few times where actors have been, they've been in a couple different movies for 99. And it's so interesting, like with Chris Cooper's character too, not exactly the same as American Beauty, but it's not the same, but it rhymes, or however that phrase goes. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, he's. I think he kind of started to do more as he got more notoriety, like after adaptation and stuff like that. But he always I feel like he was kind of something. They tried to pigeonhole him into that, like you're kind of like the stern dad who doesn't get it. Like
what I did like, and with this is it kind of earns the sentimentality because the dad isn't such, like as they would say, like a tyrant or you need to do this, whatever. And he still doesn't really understand his son. He still doesn't really get him.
Yeah.
I think he just wants the best for him, and he thinks he's just going to follow in his tracks and all that stuff. And you know,
but they do have a great moment at the end where he finally comes out for the last rocket launch to see it, and that's kind of like that whole like, okay, all right, I don't get you, son, but I'll support you, and I'll, you know, you like this enough. And that kind of resonates, I think, with our own fathers and the filmmaking stuff. And it's like when they finally kind of came on board with us doing the movie making stuff, that was like a huge thing for us, because it was like, all right, cool, I got kind of a stamp of approval here. And it's like, you know,
yeah, exactly. It's that Rudy, that inspirational movie that really earns, you know, it's touching, heartwarming moments. I mean, all the acting was great. The cinematography is great. Music. Yeah. I aside from Straight Story, you know, this is one of those only real, like, PG-ish, like, kind of Disney movie that I think really earns that heartwarming, endearing kind of feel. Yeah. Doesn't feel cheap, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it wasn't too like saccharine or like
it wasn't too syrupy.
Yeah, they weren't like laid it on that thick with all of it. And I would say, like, I had no idea who Jake Gyllenhaal was until I saw Donnie Darko a couple years later. So it wasn't until like sometime after that I was like, oh, he was in October Sky, but I never saw it until a couple days ago. And I don't know, what was he, 16, 17 in this movie? I think
it was 16 or 17. Right.
It was either his first movie or his first big role or something like that. And I'm going to just say, I don't think he gets, I mean, he's obviously a household name and everything, but I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Like, he's a really damn good actor. And I don't think people don't put him up there with like the DiCaprios and the Christian Bales and everything like that. But I think he should be, you know,
he's good with switching. You know, he's been like, he just did the Roadhouse movie, and now he's on an Apple show where he's playing an accused father. That's, you know, and then like the range he has, I don't think that's also like the credit.
Yeah. Like,
he can kind of chameleonize himself and kind of do anything.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I mean, for like a 16-year-old, he had a lot of charisma in this. And then I've just, like you said, some of these movies that he's done, it's like, what was the other one? Nightcrawler and like all that. And it's like, he really does some stuff. Even as much as people are like, Roadhouse was a disaster, like, I don't know. Like, I found it, it was kind of a disaster. But
my God, Roadhouse! If that DVD even touches Roadhouse, I will kill you. Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Roadhouse.
The remake of Roadhouse.
It's not going to replace the original. Everyone should know that.
Be nice.
It was different. They made a choice.
Be nice.
It was fine. It's not something I'd ever watch again.
Be nice.
He was fun to watch, I thought, in that. And
right.
Did you know Doug Liman did the remake? I was like,
of course.
God.
Be nice.
But no, this was great. This is a really good one. So anybody that's interested, I say go and check it out. And if you like this episode, guys, please give it a like, subscribe, comment. It helps the channel a great deal. And thanks for watching this episode of Back in 99. We will see you.